Hello there, wonderful listeners, and a very warm welcome back to another episode of Idiom Insights. I'm Emma, your companion on this exciting adventure through the often puzzling but always fascinating world of English idioms. It's truly great to have you tuning in with us today.
And hello from me too. I'm Jack, ready as always to sprinkle a little fun and perhaps a silly joke or two into our language learning mix. We are absolutely thrilled you've decided to spend some time with us today, exploring more amazing English expressions together. Learning language should be fun, right?
That's absolutely right, Jack. And today, we've got 4 really useful idioms lined up for your listening pleasure. These are phrases you might hear quite often in daily conversations, perhaps at work, with friends, or even watching movies. So understanding them will definitely give your English communication skills a fantastic boost.
Definitely. So, get your mental notebooks ready, or just tune your ears nice and sharp. Today on Idiom Insights, we're going to dive deep and investigate these expressions. First up, we have leave no stone unturned. Sounds like quite the detective job. Then we'll look at let sleeping dogs lie. Always good advice where dogs are concerned, I find. Third on our list is the very useful make a long story short, a personal favorite of mine when I ramble on too much. And finally, we'll explore what it means to miss the boat. Hopefully, none of us will do that with today's episode.
Those sound like a great mix, Jack. Before we jump into the fascinating meaning of leave no stone unturned, just a quick friendly reminder from us here at Idiom Insights. If you enjoy exploring the quirks of English with us and want to make sure you catch every single new episode, please take just a moment to hit that subscribe button wherever you happen to be listening to your podcasts.
Yes, please do. And while you're there, a little thumbs up or a like always brightens our day considerably. It really helps us know that you're enjoying the content, and it makes it easier for other wonderful English learners just like you to discover our show. Okay, enough of the important notices. Emma, are you ready to turn over our first idiom stone?
I certainly am. Let's get started. Our very first idiom today is leave no stone unturned. Jack, what does that phrase immediately bring to your mind? It sounds rather physical, doesn't it? Like searching for buried treasure, perhaps?
It really does sound quite energetic. You picture someone flipping over rocks in a field, looking for something important. And the meaning isn't too far from that image, actually. To leave no stone unturned means to do absolutely everything you possibly can to find something or to achieve a goal. It implies a very thorough, very diligent search or effort, checking every single possibility, looking in every conceivable place, considering every angle. You are being extremely thorough and determined.
That's a perfect explanation, Jack. It signifies a really comprehensive and dedicated approach. For instance, imagine your neighbor has lost their house keys just before leaving for holiday. They might say, "I've got to find them before the taxi arrives. I am going to leave no stone unturned." This means they'll check coat pockets, drawers, under cushions, in the car, retrace their steps outside, absolutely everywhere they can possibly think of.
Exactly, it shows real commitment. Or think about preparing for a really important exam. A dedicated student would leave no stone unturned in their revision. They wouldn't just read the textbook. They'd review their notes, do practice questions, look up extra information online, maybe even form a study group. They do everything possible to be prepared.
That's another great illustration of the meaning. It really emphasizes effort and not giving up easily. Now, to help illustrate this further, let's listen to a short conversation. This is something you might overhear between colleagues in an office setting. Here are our friends, Mia and Mark, trying to solve a work issue.
Mark, I've spent all morning trying to find that missing client file. I've checked the digital archives, my email folders, even the shared drive. I just can't locate it anywhere.
Okay, Mia, don't worry just yet. This file is crucial for the presentation tomorrow. We absolutely must find it. We have to leave no stone unturned.
You're absolutely right. Okay, I'll go back and check the physical filing cabinets again, even the ones from last year, just in case it was misfiled.
Good thinking, and I'll ask Sarah if she remembers seeing it or working on it recently. We need to explore every single avenue until we find that file.
You can really sense the urgency and determination in their conversation, can't you? Mark uses leave no stone unturned to emphasize that they need to be incredibly thorough and persistent to resolve this important situation. They are not just going to casually look. They are going to search intensely.
Precisely. It highlights a commitment to exhausting all possibilities. So, our fantastic listeners, we have a question for you. Can you think of a time in your life when you, or someone you know, had to leave no stone unturned? Perhaps searching for a lost pet, planning a very special event, or researching a difficult topic. We would love for you to share your examples in the comments section below this episode.
Okay, moving smoothly along to the second idiom on our list for today's Idiom Insights podcast. This one is quite different. Let sleeping dogs lie. Emma, this sounds like very practical advice, especially if the dog in question is known to be grumpy.
Haha, yes. It definitely conjures an image of tiptoeing quietly past a snoozing canine, Jack. And the meaning is quite closely related to that idea of not causing a disturbance. Let sleeping dogs lie means you should deliberately avoid mentioning or getting involved in a situation or a problem, especially one from the past. Because talking about it or interfering might just cause fresh arguments, uncover old disagreements, or create unnecessary trouble or unhappiness. If a potentially difficult situation is currently calm, it's often wisest not to bring it up again.
Okay, I understand. So it's essentially about not reopening old wounds or stirring up trouble that has settled down. For example, maybe two friends had a serious argument about money a few years ago, but now they are friendly again, although they never fully resolved the original issue. If someone asks you about that old argument, you might wisely say, you know what, they get along fine now. It's probably best to let sleeping dogs lie. Bringing up the past might just spoil the current peace.
That's a perfect example, Jack. It captures the essence beautifully. Or consider this. You find out that your boss made a small, insignificant mistake on a report 5 years ago. Long before you even worked at the company, it had no consequences then and has absolutely no relevance now. In such a situation, the sensible thing to do is to let sleeping dogs lie. Mentioning it would serve no useful purpose and could potentially cause embarrassment or awkwardness for no good reason.
It really boils down to using good judgment and recognizing when discussing something might do more harm than good. It's about choosing peace over unnecessary conflict or discussion. All right, let's hear how Mia and Mark might use this idiom. Perhaps they're discussing a sensitive topic about their neighbors.
Mia, remember how upset Mr. Henderson next door was last summer? When our barbecue smoke blew into his garden party?
Oh yes, I remember that quite vividly. He was quite annoyed, wasn't he? But we apologized and things have been perfectly pleasant since then.
I know, but I was thinking maybe I should bring it up again and apologize one more time just to be absolutely sure everything is okay between us.
Honestly, Mark, I really don't think that's necessary. Things are fine now. He waves hello every morning. Why risk making things awkward again? Sometimes it's truly best to just let sleeping dogs lie.
That sounds like very sensible advice from Mia, doesn't it? Mark is considering revisiting a potentially awkward past event, but Mia gently advises against it using let sleeping dogs lie. She correctly points out that bringing it up again could create problems where none currently exist.
Absolutely agree. It demonstrates a level of social awareness and maturity to know when digging into the past is simply not productive or helpful. So, our wonderful listeners, can you recall a situation where deciding to let sleeping dogs lie was the right course of action? Share your general thoughts or situations, without revealing anything too personal, of course, in the comments below. We're always interested in your perspectives.
Excellent suggestion, Jack. Now let's move forward to the third fascinating idiom in today's Idiom Insights exploration. This is one that I personally find extremely useful in conversation. Make a long story short.
Ah, yes, a truly invaluable phrase. It's perfect for those moments when you realize you've been talking for 5 minutes about how you chose your breakfast cereal, or when you see your listener's eyes starting to glaze over. To make a long story short simply means to tell the main points of a story or explanation, getting straight to the conclusion or the essential information without including all the lengthy, complicated, or perhaps boring details. You're effectively signaling, okay, there's more to this, but here's the important part.
Exactly. It's a way to be concise and respectful of the listener's time. For example, imagine a friend asks you how your job interview went. You could describe the journey there, the waiting room, every question asked, your detailed answers, the interviewer's cat walking across the desk, or you could preface your summary by saying, well, it was quite an experience. There were several stages. But to make a long story short, I think it went really well and they said they'll call me next week.
That's a perfect use case. Or picture someone asking how you ended up living in your current city. You could recount the whole saga of university choices, job searches in different towns, visiting friends, falling in love with a local park, or you could simplify it significantly. Well, I moved here for university, then got a job I liked, met my partner, and to make a long story short, I decided to stay. It gets the key information across efficiently.
It really does. It shows you acknowledge the complexity, but are choosing to provide the crucial outcome. Let's listen in on Mia and Mark again. Perhaps Mark had a rather complicated journey getting home.
Mark, you're finally home. You're much later than usual. Was the traffic terrible?
Oh, Mia, you would not believe my journey. First, the train was delayed because of signal problems. Then, when I finally got off, the bus wasn't running because of roadworks, so I tried to get a taxi, but there was a huge queue.
Oh dear, that sounds like a nightmare. So how did you eventually get back?
Well, I ended up walking halfway, then I bumped into Dave from accounting, who kindly gave me a lift the rest of the way. Anyway, to make a long story short, I'm here now, and I desperately need a cup of tea.
Poor Mark, what an ordeal. But you see how he started giving all the details, then realized Mia just needed the conclusion? Using "make a long story short" allowed him to quickly summarize the end result. He got home thanks to Dave, without recounting every single frustrating step.
Exactly. It's a very common and useful conversational tool. So listeners, think about the last time you told someone about something that happened to you. Was it a long story? Could you have used "make a long story short" to summarize it? Try thinking about how you would retell it briefly in the comments, using this great idiom.
Fantastic idea. And that brings us smoothly to our fourth and final idiom for this particular episode of Idiom Insights. Our last expression today is "miss the boat." This idiom paints a very clear picture in your mind, doesn't it? Standing on the harbor wall, waving sadly as the ship sails off into the distance without you.
It really does create a strong visual image, Jack, and the meaning is very closely linked to that feeling of being left behind. To miss the boat means that you have lost an opportunity, a chance to get something good, because you failed to act quickly enough. The time for taking advantage of that specific situation has passed, and now it's simply too late.
That feeling of regret and perhaps a little frustration. So, for instance, if there was an amazing concert announced for your favorite band, but the tickets sold out in minutes while you were still deciding whether to go, you could sigh and say, "Wow, tickets are all gone already. I really missed the boat on that one. The chance to buy tickets is gone."
Precisely. Or maybe there was a deadline to apply for a scholarship or a special course. If you submitted your application a day late, unfortunately, you missed the boat. The opportunity closed at the deadline, and your late application won't be considered. You were too slow.
It really emphasizes that timing was critical for that specific opportunity. And unfortunately, your timing was off. It often implies a sense of disappointment or lost potential. Right then, let's check in one last time with Mia and Mark. What opportunity might they have let slip through their fingers?
Mark, did you see that email about the free advanced training course on project management? It looked really interesting and useful for our team.
Oh yes, I saw it a few days ago. I meant to sign up for it, but I got distracted with that urgent report. Why do you ask?
Well, I just tried to register now, but the registration closed yesterday afternoon. All the places are filled.
Oh no, really? I completely forgot about the deadline. It sounds like we both missed the boat on that fantastic training opportunity, Mia. What a shame.
Oh dear, that is unfortunate for Mark and Mia. They both saw the opportunity. They were interested, but they didn't act before the deadline. Now the chance to take the free course is gone. As Mark said, they both missed the boat.
A very clear example of how delaying action can lead to a lost opportunity. It's a highly relatable idiom, I think. Most of us have probably missed the boat on something at some point in our lives, whether big or small. Listeners, what about you? Can you think of a time you missed the boat? Maybe a special offer, a chance to meet someone, or an event you wanted to attend? Feel free to share your general experiences in the comments. We can all learn from missed chances.
Absolutely. And just like that, time has sailed by, and we've successfully navigated our way through 4 more incredibly useful English idioms here on Idiom Insights. Let's take a moment to quickly recap the expressions we learned together today.
We certainly did cover some good ground. Today, we explored "leave no stone unturned," which means to try absolutely everything possible, to be incredibly thorough in a search or effort. "Let sleeping dogs lie," meaning to avoid bringing up old problems or conflicts to maintain peace. "Make a long story short," used to summarize a lengthy account and get straight to the main point or conclusion. And "miss the boat," which means being too late to take advantage of an opportunity.
Wonderful. We sincerely hope you found these explanations, examples, and dialogues helpful for your English learning journey. Remember, the absolute best way to make these idioms part of your own vocabulary is to try using them. Don't be shy. Try slipping them into your conversations or even your writing practice.
That's the spirit. As they say, practice makes progress. Using idioms can make your English sound much more natural and fluent, which is a fantastic goal to have. And hey, if you had a good time learning with us today on Idiom Insights and feel you picked up something valuable, please do show us some appreciation with a like, a rating, or perhaps even a positive review.
And most importantly, please don't forget to subscribe to Idiom Insights so you won't miss the boat on our next episode. We'll be back soon with more quirky, interesting, and useful English phrases. We truly love having you as part of our growing learning community.
Indeed we do. So until next time, keep your ears open, keep practicing, and keep enjoying the amazing adventure that is learning the English language. Bye for now, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care and happy learning. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.